Hi there and welcome to Show Me English. I'm Tom Dillon. Today I'm going to talk about a really important subject in our professional lives, which is preparing for a job interview. Research the company as much as possible online, looking for things like its culture, philosophy and any other similar things. Try to find out about the position before the interview, asking the Human Resources Department. If this isn't possible, you must use the opportunity of the interview to do this. Never be late for an interview under any circumstances. Always make sure you check the location of the interview the day before. If you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. And also, prepare your clothes the night before as well. Don't forget to iron your shirt. If in a bad situation you will be late for your interview on the day, make sure you have the telephone number of the interviewer and call them directly, never an SMS. Now let's have a look at questions you must ask. An interview is your opportunity to ask the potential employer as much as possible about the position and the company. When you do your research online, don't be afraid to take notes and take them with you to the interview. This shows that you're really well prepared and diligent. The first question could be, can you describe a normal working week? What time does your day start or finish? This may differ depending on whether the company is Spanish or American owned or by other European countries. Will it be expected that you do additional hours from time to time without pay? Will you have a different schedule when you work in the summer? Question number 2. What is a typical day like in this job? This is how you discover exactly what the role entails and your duties and responsibilities. You may discover that there are certain duties inherent within this job that you hadn't thought about, such as answering phones or collecting your boss's dry cleaning, for example. Question number 3. How many people work in this department or building? This is a great way to see if you're going to be working for a company with very few employees or in a larger company. Working for either size of company often has its advantages or disadvantages. In small companies, you'll often get more responsibility and recognition for your work, with clearer chances for promotion. Working in larger companies can mean that there's a diverse range of departments with many colleagues, but little chance for promotion. Have a think about which option will suit you the best, although sometimes we have no choice. Question number 4. Why is this job available? It may be that the company is expanding and needs new employees for this position. Or it could be that this job is quite stressful and the previous person left. If this is a graduate position, however, this question is irrelevant. Question number 5. Are there any chances of progression in this job? You might discover that this is a great opportunity for progression, or you might discover that there's little or no chance of getting that promotion at all. If it seems like the latter, you will always need work experience of 1 to 2 years when applying for future positions for other potential employers. Question number 6. What are some of the challenges of this job? Again, this is a great way for you to find out exactly what the job entails and its positive or negative sides. Now let's have a look at preparing another important part for your job interview, which is questions which will be asked of you. So it's really important to be prepared to answer questions, especially about your experience and your weaknesses. It's completely wrong to say that you don't have any weaknesses, and it will sound arrogant. It's always a better idea to sound humble. A lot of the time the interviewer will respect your honesty more than you trying to pretend that you're perfect. Think of some ways to answer this inevitable question. What are some of your weaknesses? I didn't understand some basic concepts in the first 6 months and I was afraid to ask silly questions. Now I don't mind asking simple questions or what others think. I used to delegate and abdicate. Now I know that it's my responsibility to see the outcome of what I delegate, not the other person. I expect a lot from myself and I often get angry and disappointed when others don't think the same. But now I focus on my strengths and try to empathise with other people's points of view. Now think of 3 of your own before the interview. Always be honest and give examples of your weaknesses and what you're trying to do to solve them, thus giving a good impression. Be ready to elaborate on your experience and strengths, which would be relevant to this specific job. Some examples could be, I work well with many different kinds of people. I am flexible and can adapt easily, especially if the company changes philosophy. I also have experience with Windows programs, Adobe, and I also have a Google certification. Now think of 5 more examples of your strengths. Why don't you ask friends or family to help you if you can't think of any? Interviewer will be using your CV as a reference to ask you some difficult questions. Try to look at it from this point of view. Now here are some questions that you may have to answer. For example, what makes you so special? Or, you don't have the exact experience for this role. Why should we choose you? Describe your strengths using a difficult situation as an example. Or, you said you like working on your own, so are you not a team player? Now let's review some of the main points of this podcast. Number 1, always ask at least 15 questions in your interview. Number 2, always take your research notes and questions with you. This shows that you're interested. Think about the job and what it involves. What is good or bad about this role? Think of all the questions that the interviewer will ask you based on your CV. Number 5, think of explaining some of your weaknesses honestly and what you have done to overcome them. This has a positive outcome. Number 6, also think of 5 different ways of describing your strengths. Think about 3 adjectives which others would describe you as. Never ask about the salary of this job. Wait for the interviewer to tell you. Number 9, sound humble if you don't know an answer. You are always willing to learn. And number 10, think of how an employer looks at your CV from their point of view. Ask a friend to help you answering some difficult questions. I really hope that all these tips I've gone through are going to help you to prepare for your interview, and I wish you all the best of luck. We'll see you soon on Show Me English. Bye for now.